where dreams collide. Sarah's voice, a gentle guide through the realms of time and space. She takes us to a sacred place.
What's the very first thing that you notice?
I notice like stars all around me, like below me, above me. It's like I'm floating in space.
Oh, wow, what is that like?
There's no gravity. Um, but it's sort of weird because I'm everything feels so far away. Um, it's dark, but like it's a little bluish, but it's got like a blackness to everything besides all of these like what seem to be like stars everywhere.
What do they look like? These stars that look everywhere.
Mm, they look like small suns, I think, like but they're kinda like it's kinda like mathematical, like it's all like in like order too, like the
Oh,
way that they all like are formed, like there's like a puzzle, like there's a way that they all are shaped like the same distance apart and stuff.
wow. Do you get a sense um, what shape and form they make?
I mean, it's almost like I'm in like sacred geometry.
Oh, wow. And if you um listen really carefully, do you hear any sounds there?
Yeah, it's almost like I can hear like a really, really high frequency, super high. Um, like like a ear can just barely hear it.
What does the frequency sound like?
It sounds like like a humming, like a high humming, and it almost feels like I'm inside of something. I'm inside of something.
Tell me about what you notice all around you.
I just noticed like all of these stars around me, and there's not like a it's would feel s- sterile, but not in a bad way. And it's like it because the air feels like very thick and like this is just like a place where like humans usually aren't. And it's sort of like it's really timeless here. And it's like everything just like exists here. Like it's like preserved here or something.
What else is preserved there?
It's just like the time, it's just like the place beyond time. And so I think that maybe there's information like that's stored here. Um, like it actually might, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a black hole, but it's like near a black hole where like it's like really it's like feels like the center of creation.
Tell me more about it, whatever you notice.
It's got like all possibilities are possible here. And it has this feeling of endlessness, and it's you can't tell like what's up or down or right or left. It's all the same, but I feel like it's noticing that I'm here now too.
Oh, tell me about that. How does it
Like
respond to you?
it's like I just felt like almost like a consciousness like awaken um with my presence, and like when I noticed when I started to notice more things about it, like it's like became alive. It's like actually an organism.
Tell me about it. What do you sense from it?
I mean, it feels so ancient. It feels so it feels it's so hard to talk about because it's not like a thing. It's not like a 3D thing, you know. It just has like it just has a consciousness to it. And so it's like information it's like an information like hub of like, but like it has it's just keeps telling me it's like where creation happens.
Wow. And what about yourself there? If you focus on yourself as the observer there, do you have a body? If you sense or look down, do you have feet or anything there?
I I can be a body or I cannot be a body. When I arrived, I had a body because I could feel the how what it's like with no gravity in the body, but I can also shift to just being awareness, like I have a lot of range to like just change myself.
Tell me more about what you notice about yourself there.
Well, at first I felt like I've never been here, but I think I have been here before, and it's such a weird it's like my human self can kind of dissolving because it's like you can't be here as in a human form because it doesn't make sense. You have to like really kind of dissolve into that, into like a 0 point or something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see. So it's like an ancient consciousness kind of thing, like like the seed of the spot of creation in this place. And
Yeah, and it's breathing too. Like it does, like there's a breath, or what I would call breath, in this place.
what is the breath like? What do you sense about it?
I sense I sense like it breathes like not with air, but like it has a rhythm to it. It's kind of like the infinity symbol, like it goes out and then in, but it's kind of looping, and it's I mean it's not scary, but the vastness of it and the emptiness of it, like the space where there's nothing is a little overwhelming.
What does that feel like?
It just feels really weird to touch something that has no end to it and all possibilities, and like the there's the it's just like to be in the breath. It's just a little overwhelming for a body because it's so past our mind and it's so past the body, and it's just really weird to be out of time and space. It's out of time and space too.
Wow. And as you're there, to get a sense as to why you're there, do you have a specific um, job or something that you're doing there that you're aware of?
I've either been here or I'm like from here, or like I can't quite grasp what it is, why I'm here.
How do you seem to be spending your time when you are there? What do you do there?
I just sort of float.
And what is that like? Like, what is it like when you go there and you flow there?
Oh, I got information like like me being there is important because it completes like a puzzle or something. It like turns it on. Like it like my like soul or whatever like is I can see that the stars I was referring to is like I have one inside of my body. So like I'm actually a star,
Tell me about
or
this.
whatever this is. Um I I guess I don't know if I would say I was birthed from here, but I have this like I'm one of these stars, and it's like I have the same technology inside of me.
Oh, tell me more. What kind of technology does it seem like you have?
For somehow these lights or for back of all these little nodes, I would call them nodes, are help with like this creation center. And I am like how I pictured is like the node is inside of me, like kind of right where my heart is, and then I grew a body around it. But that node actually stores a, a lot of information, like kind of like it's also the node is a portal. It's like it's a whole like it's taking that whole space, and it like all that information goes inside of the node. The node is also the way you get inside of the portal. It's just like a portals and portals, kind of how it feels.
Wow. And what type of information does it feel like you are storing?
It's all truth. Anything that's truth. So it's like there's and it's truth like distilled down to like it's like purest form. So it's like undistorted. It's almost like undistorted light because that's where the truth is, or something like that. And it has a code of like code of it's stored in as code, kind of, but like
What's
in the light.
Oh, wow. And that's so fascinating. And what is truth? Like, do you get a sense since you carry it? Like, what is the truth?
It's not like truth like in a like the English language. It's like truth of like it's like truth that can't it's like it's not like laws. It's not like it's like just don't have the right English word for it. It's like not information, but it's just like these like it's like a codex or something of
Oh, interesting. And do you get a
these
sense?
like old it's like from the beginning of creation. Like it's so old.
And since you carry it, do you get a sense who created the laws or what the laws are? Do they have a
Yeah, it's
feeling?
yeah, it's not like it's like it's sort of like I'm viewing it's like truth at like the purest form, and then out of that form comes like maybe like agreements or divine laws for each planet or each ecosystem. But it's like I'm at like it's like one of the original sources of this, and it came from it's like when creation like split from itself, it's like coded with like that split and how that split happened. It like the reference point in which it decided to split, it's like holds that frequency, and then so it's like and then that spirals out into like all these other lower dimensional truths. And so it's like the heart of the key. I don't know how to say it. It's like the heart of the information.
Wow. Okay, so like the truth has is a very pure form, but it spirals out into other forms of this truth.
Yeah, it spirals out because it has to go into like lower because this is such a high dimension. It has to it takes on different form as it goes into lower dimensions. And then it takes on different meanings and it takes on different uh, um, um, ways of being. And but it's sort of like, it's got it all leads back to this center point, which is inside of the star, inside of the node.
Wow, that's so fascinating. And when you're there, do you get a sense if you are alone or with others, or if you are able to communicate with something there?
Well, I kind of see now it's like one organism, but also all the little stars are separate organisms because I'm an organism and a star. So I think all the other stars are different or kind of expressions of it. And but it's more like I feel more in touch with like the greater organism of it all.
Tell me about this.
It's almost like I can communicate with it's almost like it's third eye, but it's not a human third eye is like observing me and I'm observing it and I'm with it and I'm with all of the pieces of it as individuals. Like it can kind of become separate out. It's almost like a star being octopus of some sort. Like
Tell me
not an
about that.
octopus, but like it has this um I think I've seen this before actually, because one time I saw an octopus in the stars, and it's sort of like reminds me of that, but it's sort of like outside of the matrix, and it's this thing that uh breathes life and brings life into different um like systems.
Tell me about that.
like it has access to all the galaxies, it has access to all the dimensions, and it sort of feels like it's governing it. It's a protector, it's a truth bearer, it's it has a very like noble job of seeing and seeing how things evolve and develop.
Wow. And can you speak directly with this organism, this consciousness?
Yeah, it's like telepathic. It
Um,
can read my it's aware of you being with
wow,
me,
that's incredible. Can you ask it questions?
kind of. It's so
Well,
beyond like language, but it's kind of through like the heart. I can like connect with it. It connects through the heart.
wow. Can I just ask it what is the purest truth? Like, what is the truth? Like, what are the laws? And
Yeah, it's hard to put into English because we don't have reference points for it, but it's like it has to do with like light and dark, and we we think of it as like a battle with light and dark, but it's up here in the holiest form. It's like held in a different way. It's it's actually like a marriage of the two, and I get it. Up here, it's super balanced, and I'm experiencing what it is when light and dark are like super symbiotic, and there's no they actually work together in a very harmonious way. And they're needed for each other, and I can see how it co-creates, and I can see how good it feels when it's balanced.
how does it become balanced? Like, do you see that? Do you see how they balance each other?
Well, here it's always been balanced. It's the lower dimensions where the distortion happens. So the higher you go, like it actually feels like as you get pulled up into higher dimensions, it supports balancing it. But here it's never not been out of balance. It's always been in balance.
And aside from the light and dark law and truth, do you see any other pure laws there that
I think there's
change?
something to do with like with love here. So associate love with light, but love is again like love is super distorted in lower dimensions, and love is the I think like love is like the breath that's fuels the creation. Um, and it's not a it's 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 so foreign to me. I'm trying to grasp it, but it's
Mm.
like it's hard for humans to it's hard for humans to really touch like we can touch it, like, you know, it's so overwhelming that we've sort of designed it to touch the very tip of it, but like it's such a force and it's so overwhelming for our bodies that we've kind of separated ourselves from it because of how like just the frequency of it alone is just a little overwhelming for a human, but somehow it basically is trying to show me something. But it's trying to it's basically it's like wrapping around the light and the dark and it's in swirling and it's super fast, like it moves really fast. And I think it's trying to tell me that it's wants to for some reason it was like there was like a block and between I'll just call it love energy for lack of a better word, but it's not, it wasn't, there was like it was supposed to flow freely, like down into all the dimensions, and it like kind of got trapped. And it's kind of asking for help.
Wow, how did it get trapped?
There was like a interference by something that was like foreign to this octopus land, this whole consciousness. It was blocked. And it's been trapped up here like for a long time and almost like a bottleneck is how it feels.
Can you let it out?
I think I have to, yeah, I think so. I think, well, I don't know. I have to go. It's just saying like the source of where this was like, it feels like it's a danger because something kind of messed with it outside of the system. And I I will explore it, but I have to like go down dimensions.
Oh, well, can you ask the the consciousness of that area if that's what they want you to do, or can they just unblock it? What, you know,
No, they can't unblock it.
why?
Well, it's out of their control, like because it's a force or it's more of like it's not a block, it's like a distortion. Um,
Okay.
is kind of what it feels like now. And it's it's sort of asking me to help it. Like I have to go, it's like because it can't alter its pure like because it's such a pure source of creation and like it's like so close to truth and it can't be distorted so like it can't manipulate itself to make it like flow it as it should so it needs like outside help and the distortion of it is coming from an outside source beyond like its control.
Oh, wow. And does it know what this outside source is? Like, is it aware?
Yeah, I was trying to tap into that. It's something that feels so foreign to what this land is and what this consciousness is, like, it's a whole different life force. It's I don't it felt kinda, like, bad before, but I can't tell if it's like that's this thing was just this other thing is just its design is to create distortion, so it's just neutral, it's just doing its job, or if it's like, has just not some not so good intentions, but it feels more like the distortions, like the picture I get, it's like glass, like where you hold a glass in like you hold up like a window in front of a light source and it distorts the light, but you can't see the glass because it's clear. So it's like no one knows it's here because of the technology of the distortion.
I see. And then, well, what happens if you release it?
Well, it's really it's it's really big and like I'm very tiny compared to how big this distortion is and it sort of feels like it's in space, but I might have be able to do that. I think I can make it evaporate actually.
Oh, wow.
So think I can make it like go away. And then because I see the pure light rays like shining through it now, which is like I sort of feel like it's been unplugged.
Oh, wow. Amazing. What is happening now?
Like the original source codes are like showering what it looks like Earth from like really far away. And but not just this Earth, like all of the other galaxies and like all like lots of dimensions. I feel it's almost like I'm underwater when sun comes through the water and it shines through and it's super beautiful from below. Like it's shining that light source. Well, I am kind of underwater actually,
Oh, wow.
but it's a whole like I think the portal is actually in the water too.
Oh, tell me about this.
Like the way to the place I was in, although I went by a cloud, you can access it through the ocean because that's where the portals are to these really, really far away galaxies. Really, really far away galaxies. And they stay hidden in what would be perceived as the dark, but it's just because that sunlight doesn't hit the water that deep, so they can stay super like unknown and hidden from danger or any perceived threat.
Wow. Amazing. Oh, what else are you aware of when you're, you know, now that you're doing all this and you're there?
I'm just in the ocean now. I'm in like the portals and it's almost like this was like a secret way to like trick the mind or trick Earth. Like it's like a hidden secret to like go through the ocean. I think there's all these other portals here and there's all these other things that go in and out and these other beings kind of go in and out of these water portals and it's really how a lot of beings come and get access to Earth.
And what do you mean it's a trick? Like, who is it tricking?
There's just something about like you can't expose this information right now because of the powers that be or like people aren't ready for it. So this is like an access point that's still really hidden on our planet from, I guess, like people that have power on the planet right now, whatever that
Right.
means.
I see. And so they're not aware of these portals in the ocean then?
No, it's kind of like it's like a feels like it's like a really open highway where there's just a lot of activity down here. A lot of like a lot of all sorts of, I guess I'd call them like interdimensional beings, and like a lot of different timelines and a lot of different times come in and out of these portals, and like some can see each other, some can't. Some some come with like lots of people, some come with just by themselves, and it goes in and out, it goes both ways.
How do you get to the portal in the ocean, or are there like a lot of them?
Yeah, it's pretty like it has to be where the sun isn't, and it has to be where so it's very, very deep, but it's just something about like it just has to be beyond the sun, and then they open up. Um, and then it's almost like they can close up or open up, but they look circular, and there's not like water flows in them. It opens up and there's no water, and then no one's actually like wet, but it's literally like a huge highway. It's like it reminds me of like a mall, like with, when all these different people are walking around and they're each in their own little worlds. Like it's sort of how it reminds me of,
What
or the way I
what
see it.
wow, like what kind of beings seem to use this portal?
Mm, I'll try to get closer, but it's like there's some that are really small and some that are very big, like kind of human, like with like, like, well, one's on like I mean, some of them walk, some of them like look like they're floating and rolling, and like some like this one has like a really weird neck. Like it's 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 really kind of hard to fully see their details, but I get a sense that they're like all different shapes and sizes, and and they're all like it's like they've been doing this for years, and I wouldn't say exactly like have missions, but there's purpose to what they're doing. They're not just like chilling. They're moving in and out, and they're seeding. It feels like some are seeding things here.
Like what? What does it look like they do?
Like it's almost like you would, you know, bring a seed in and plant it and it will grow. Like bringing, they're not, because they don't, it's not like these, I feel like these little beings like come in and but then they leave. They don't like stay forever, but their job is to like seed things. And so they plant things that humans aren't aware of, and then they like can can grow here without our awareness.
Oh, wow. Huh. Is there anything else you see that it looks like they do that looks interesting to you?
Seems like they kind of work in teams, like like they're some of the ones that are like different from different places, they like know each other, and as they're kind of in groups. And also it feels like maybe that some of these beings had to go, it wasn't safe here on Earth, so they went in the water,
Mhm.
and it's also this sort of like escape route or a way for like a choice point if maybe if people are done being here or something, they can leave this like dimension on Earth and go out this way because it feels like these portals have had a lot of history. Like they're super old and
What type of history do you feel there?
I can feel like pain of like the pain of like people like want leaving and not wanting to leave, and I can feel like kind of dangerous missions coming through here, and I can feel like I can't tell. So I just sort of became aware of like Gaia breathing and like the earth breathing, and I was like, is she aware of all this? And I think she is, but what I'm seeing is there's just like a whole world of beings like in the earth's core. Like there's a lot of stuff happening down there.
Like
And
what? Like there's beings in the
like
earth core too?
civilizations, and there's like civilizations, and there's like these it's almost like they're like human, like you know how ants are like work in like a big like they build, like I see things down there like building, and yeah, they're making things and they're creating worlds, and there's just like a so much activity. It's kind of overwhelming, and it's like and it goes so deep like to the core,
Wow.
and and they just function in a very different way, and it's just I'm just like really grasping like how many like how multi-dimensional, and I can only grasp a tiny bit of it because I have a brain like but there's so many like worlds. There's so many worlds.
Wow. Amazing. And they're just like in different dimensions, but there's worlds like in the inside of the earth, in the ocean.
Yeah, like just the ocean feels like I don't really see many worlds in the ocean. I feel like that's more of a portal, but like when I go down to the Earth's core, it's like I can see from like I'm outside of it and I'm looking in and I can see like remember in biology or whatever science you like learned about like the different cores of the Earth, like they're in there's like all these different communities in them and like they don't know about each other.
Wow. Like what do they look like?
Mhm. They kind of look like this one particular one is kind of like they are kind of like look like bugs. I don't know. They have like these like long arms, and they kind of walk on all four, but they're like kind of like a horse. It's like a horse if and an ant met, and it's like but they're builders. Like they build kind of like bugs build, like they dig and they're building and they're it's like a whole ecosystem, but it actually like really s- it's sort of all I think they all their ecosystems like work together somehow, and they
Wow.
you know, some of them don't need light, some of them don't need air, some of them are more advanced than others, and they and then like the things that were coming in and out of the portals are like from space. Like they're more like intergalactic like beings, and then like they come in and out of these portals, and but they have more significance. Like there's more of they feel like more of have an influence on like the human race, where these other like inner core dimensional like things are they're just kind of living their lives, like not affected by what's happening outside of the core of Earth.
Oh, wow. What if you look at the section where humans live, that part of the earth?
Yeah, we're like, how that feels very like, ro- it feels kind of sterile and like, it just feels super matrixy for lack of the better word, like very kind of programmed. Like it almost feels like there's a gas in the air of like that's hypnotizing people.
Tell me about
Like
that.
like it's like in the air and like you can't see it or test it or know it's there and it's like this gas that like keeps you partially asleep and like and you're like this part of the brain that I'm doing right now like it cuts you off from it so you don't know like what you don't know like you don't know that this button isn't turned on and it fills up like the whole it just resides in like the air we breathe.
Do you see who is behind that or what, how to dismantle that? Do you see everything about that or no?
It like doesn't its technology is designed so it doesn't like have like a source like you can't tie it back to a place where it comes from if that makes sense like that is designed in a very specific way so it stays hidden and but it's sort of like it also is like kind of like an attack on the bodies like it's because the bodies are connected to Gaia and so if it attacks the bodies and it's attacking Gaia and it loses humans touch from humans to be in touch with their bodies. So we become more of the mind and we forget like the original design of the body.
What do you see as the original design of the body?
The design of the body was basically Gaia wanted to create herself in human form and it's like the most she took all of her technology and she created a body. And the body was this magnificent being, and it had so much so much other possibilities than like the bodies and what's happening to the bodies now. Like the original body, we had so much more access, and we would have felt different in the body. We would have been fully embodied, we would have had all of these, like, the chakra system, like all those things, they had a very potent purpose that's hard to tap into right now with where we're at.
Tell me more about this.
Like the bodies, like we're like think of it like we're functioning at like 3% of what a body and the body was if the body was at 100%, like when we would touch things, it would feel we would with our little fingertip, it would give us we touched an apple, we would be in like harmony with the apple. We would like exchange intelligence with the apple. We would have like reciprocity if I could eat the apple. Like there's such a diluted way of living now in the body that was maybe from the original design. And that's just like one small example of many because like sight and sound and telepathy and like human intelligence and like emotions like it all was circular and it was all in harmony and it was all like we were like these super beings that could really, really feel in a whole different way. And it's just so numbed right now.
Wow. What does it look like as you like observe this realm, what does it look like is happening right now?
Because I just was like felt into that like whole body, it like feels super sad and it feels like it's just like it's just so sad because we don't know what we're missing and we don't know and we're doing weird things to try to get it's almost like you know when you go to a run you go for a run for an hour and then at the end of it you're like I'm so alive like that
Mhm.
feeling of being alive was like always pulsating through us and so it's just really hard to observe the dichotomy of this with people because and it makes sense in why, you know, we have disease and why we have cancer and why we're it's like the bodies sort of have died
Mm.
compared to what they were. It's really weird.
Wow, so there's, like, something really attacking the body, like, so because when you attack the body, you attack Gaia too, and
Yeah.
so, the body was created to be this, like, instrument, this magical instrument, but it's, like, not really functioning. The body's really
Yeah, it's like
dying.
for the soul, you know, to come in, like it's
Mhm.
like and that was supposed to be like the original experience in ways, and just to house us, you know, but it's also like it's sort of like a dichotomy because, like, there is an opposing force, and it kind of can feel evil, but it is from our own creation. You know, it is from, like, it can feel like there's a bad guy, good guy situation here, but it's just it's our own we evolved to create that gas, you know, like, we are responsible for this part of it too, so it's all one, and I don't know if it's because we have to do that to invite us back into the original state, but it does all serve a purpose too. But it's just like, you know, up at that place I was at before, it was so balanced. It's just so unbalanced. But when things are super unbalanced, you can like it's how you get back into balance is through the unbalance at the same time. So it's sort of this ecosystem. It's just super hard to be here right now because there's just a lot of traffic and there's just a lot of distortion and, like, it's it's but maybe I'm just looking at, like, one dimension of it because I think there's other dimensions that aren't like, I was tapping into kind of a painful one, but I think there's it's I can see other ones that are, like, actually, like, really whole and really beautiful too.
Oh, tell me about that. What do you see?
Well, it's like when I pulled out from this one, I could see because if you can see you only know something's not working because you know what does work, right? So now then I was like, "Oh, so there's another really harmonious field I can see that's, like, really, really, like, really beautiful," like, kinda going back to that original, like, cartoon, like, Fantasia world, like, it's just where everything sings in one song, and it's, um a melting pot of all of these harmonious beings and there's no lack here and there's only abundance and it's just has so much harmony is the best word I would say to it.
Wow, and it's on the surface too?
Yeah, it's in and on the surface. It's almost like a mirror of this. It's almost like the opposite of what I where I just was. Like if you flipped it, maybe it's yeah, it's like a mirror of it, but it's just the polarity of it. And
Do you do you see humans on there?
really can't see humans, but what I see when you ask me that is like humans kind of like being like, because it's not like human, like this world, like everything is born from like this like seed, this original seed, but like humans aren't born from that original seed. So almost like it looks like if we get granted access, which is like a whole other thing, like we can come over, but we have to like, but like we're foreign to it.
Mm,
But it's like if we are in a vibration that it's like a vibrational match. But the thing is that you have to like really be in reverence to that world. You can't, it's like the old, you can't be like a taker. You
mm.
have to be in reverence and co-creation. So it like operates out of a whole set of other set of a whole other set of rules.
Wow, so fascinating. Is there anything else you see that looks interesting or important?
Well, just like I was just thinking like the little I know about like, the new earth or fifth dimension, I was like, is this it? But like it's so funny how we're all obsessed with that because there's just so many more earths, and it's just we're obsessed with always getting to where we're not, but like it's just not the most important thing or how it works. And it's like it's almost like I'm just going back up to that like love and the distortion. Like it's not, I mean, this is kind of obvious, but it's like it's not, we're just so like the impression I got when I'm at the earth that's like not her in harmony, it's like we're waiting for like a saving thing, and we've designed this whole paradigm around heroes and saviors, and like it's just not how it works. And it's almost like that love, that distortion, like at first I was imagining it like raining down, but it really is from, it grows within. And so it's like I just feel like things are so flipped around because there's such an inside job that we don't fully grasp yet on how we grow our own evolution from inside of us. And we're so distracted with our eyes. Like we all just basically like need to put bags over our heads and like for the next year, and I think everything would change because we've overly indexed the eyes, and it's like our senses are like not in harmony. And so it's like we're not functioning like as we should, how we perceive information. Like we should observe, but we shouldn't, it's like we live outside of our eyes instead of living inside of the eyes.
Mm. Wow. Wow, amazing. So it's like, and it's just, there's your own internal work helps your evolution, so to speak, is what you see.
Kind of, and it's like there's actually like a source. It's like, and even in our internal work has been like distorted. Like it's like
Mm.
because it's all being done for something, like you just really have to be, it just it's just like this original way of being that flows different and is like without, it's just really without any expectations or attachments, and so it's comes easier. And like, but yeah, the source of like this truth and this love or whatever, love isn't even the word, I guess it's like creation, like there's a seed inside of us that we're not aware of that we have access to.
Wow. How do we um access it? Does it look like?
It's like you have to travel into
Mm,
the body and well, it's almost like first you have to remember you have that, and that's a really hard thing for people to metabolize because, it's just so against, like, the thinking, so it's like it's against, people feeling worthy of it, but, like, there's a seed that it's the same and it's all connected to what I've been saying this whole time,
mm,
it's the seed of the portals, it's the seed these people are planting, it's the seed of the creation portal I was in, it's all, like, in the side of it, it's all the same thing, but just in different ways and spirals out and spirals in, and I think we've just forgotten that we have that seed, and it is through you have to believe that you have that though to access it, and I think that's why when people are doing this inner growth, it's still, like, outside of them, but they have to understand it's like it is an inside job, but, like, you have to know that you have this birthright of power access.
wow,
It
incredible.
sits, like, in the solar plex, like, whatever with the heart below the heart. It's,
Amazing.
like, in a chakra, yeah.
Wow. Is there anything else you see about that that looks important?
Just, like, has, like, a high it's I can, like, hear it. It really it's, like it just kinda all goes back to this, like, pure it's like I can sort of start to recognize that pure truth place I was at because it has that same high frequency, it has that same pitch, and it's so it's like I can start to recognize that truth,
Wow.
Um, it's connected.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Gosh. Okay, now let's just leave that scene. And I just want to speak directly to your higher self, the part of Megan that knows everything about her. Can I speak directly to Megan's higher self now, please?
Yeah,
I respect the
yes,
power of the higher self, so I always ask for permission to speak to it and ask questions. Do I have permission to ask questions?
yes.
Thanks. Why did you first show her this place with what looked like suns? What was that all about? What did you want her to see?
Because that's where she's from, and, it's hard for her to understand. It's hard for her, like a human, to understand that and hold that because it's just so unfamiliar and, like, not what people people talk about or people know, and so that's just I wanted to sort of show her home so she could understand herself unattached from a body
Wow. Why did you want her to see this?
because she has, codes of truth in her, and she doesn't always remember, and it's hard for her human to understand these things, and I don't know why it's important that I tell her that because her mind because it's a way she disregards herself because it's so far from reality, and she doesn't wanna believe herself, and she has, like, really divine a really divine understanding of like truth and like harmony and these very, very just very pure principles live in her body. And so she's if she listens to her body, she'll have more guidance in knowing like what is truth here on this earth or something like that.
Can
Something
you
like that.
can you tell me more of how she should work with her body? Like what exactly is it that she needs to do?
Yeah, she needs to listen, like she needs to tune into her body and she will always get information and then she needs to like believe that information is truth and like also her body has to stay clear because it's she's almost designed as a frequency to emit truth without opening her mouth. And so it's like if she goes into a room, that will she's like a radio signal that attunes a frequency. And that's why, she's a DJ and why she does stuff like that because um it's like it's really it's about the music, but it's not about the music, but it's a way for her to like attune a lot of places. So she kind of like is attunes a lot of things and but her body and her vessel, they just have to stay in a high frequency.
What's the best way for her to keep herself in a high frequency?
It's very like human things of like resting and taking care of her body and like she needs to do like a metal detox and she needs to like cleanse regularly and she has to have like potassium, like specific minerals. Like there's something about being electric, like so high electric, like she has to like attune with minerals and like that's why she has to detox the metals too, because she's like pumps a lot of electricity through her body or something like that.
And what's the best metal cleanse that she should do? Like what do you suggest?
She has to find like a cleanse that will it's almost like a cleanse that's like a magnet for the metals that will pull them out. So she has to like it's something that she has to, I think, drink and then um and pull the metals out of her.
Okay, when do you want her to do this?
She has to do this after her next when she comes um off of her next trip because she won't be traveling because it's like the planes are really tough on the body. So she has to do this in June, I guess,
Why are planes tough on her body?
because they interfere with her frequency so much. It's like bending it like bends her frequency. Um and not just because it's like she's in a metal airplane through ancient space. It's like it's not good for anybody really. And it changes the frequency so much and she has to like counter attack it. And also she met this woman Sue and she has to do what Sue says. And Sue told her to do an iodine protocol.
Oh, okay. But is there anything she can do because she does travel a lot?
Yeah, she needs to be so as much as she's traveling, she has to counterbalance that with time in nature. And she needs to she just needs to also not travel as much.
Hmm. Okay, that's good to know. Um, Okay, so you want her to do the metal detox, and then you want her to do what Sue said with the iodine. You want her to spend as much time as she travels in nature. Um, and then you said you want her to listen deeply to her body. Is there anything else about that you want to tell her?
Yeah, she doesn't know that, well, she has trouble trusting the body, and
Why? Why?
because her body was harmed, and it it's just not a safe wasn't a safe place for her.
Well, why did she have that experience? What was the very purpose of it?
The purpose was to, I think, because it's helped her find her way back into the body, and yeah, she basically, like, I think she's got a really important future with the body, and, she well, there was many purposes for it, but she had such the experience of living out of the body now, as she's consciously choosing to be in the body, she's it's gonna have a different importance to her. But she started to live for the body instead of the mind, and, like, it was so good for her, and then she's she stopped because I think she was afraid of, like, the path that was taking her on, and because she just has, like, a really different timeline available.
Oh, can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, like, I can't fully see it, but it's got, and I can feel, like, Megan afraid of it because it's got, like, such a shamanic indigenous vibe to it, and, like, it just feels so opposite of what I know now, and
Wow.
it feels like it there's just a major letting go that has to happen for her to be on this timeline, and it's weird because it doesn't, you know how, like, in linear thinking, it has, like, you'll get a job, and then you'll get married, and then you'll move here, like, it's this timeline is not laid out in the same way. It's like a spiral or something, so it's not like it's not like your normal time what I thought of as timelines. It's like going in. I don't know how to explain it, like, the timeline goes down and it expands, but it doesn't make sense in the other way my other life has made.
Okay, well, what's your advice for Megan then?
It's not advice, it's an invitation, and it's an invitation to trust that timeline, and it's an invitation to know herself in a way she's never known herself, and it's an invitation to connect dots together, and, um, it's like I see a bunch of flags, and it's like the flags somehow represent like uniting people. It's like it's our way to unite people, um and I don't know if I'm becoming indigenous or like, but I just see like feathers like leading me, and going back into time in a
Oh,
way.
interesting. Wow, is there anything else about this you want to tell her?
Just like the reason why you can't see the future is because like in linear thinking you can sort of see the future, but that's not how spirals work. You have to like every time, like it's not meant to be clear, and that's just this distorted controlled thinking. It's You're not supposed to see everything. You're supposed to see like a few feet in front of you, and then when you get to that feet you can see the next feet, and that's important for her to understand.
Oh, okay. So, so then what do you want her to do then, like going forward? What are her next steps then?
She needs to co-create with like nature, and be it's like not even co-create because that's a little bit farther of a step. It's like the more she can get in rhythm of nature, she will she will understand what's being asked of her. The more that she swims, the more that she is touching things that are alive, the more that they're surrounding her, the more that she's in that frequency, she can see things more clearly. And there's also this like um it's really important that she doesn't like almost as like a cleanse of of where she puts her attention, and like doesn't outsource her power. Like it's really important that she really kind of untangles anything that she gives her power to, pulls it back.
Ooh, okay. Um, I just have a lot of questions. Okay. So, um, I guess what do you want her to put her focus to then? Like what if she's curious about like where to put her energy and her, you know, what is her purpose exactly?
Well, her purpose is just to stay in like this high frequency because that's the most important thing. And there's so many expressions of herself that are available to her. She's a very like multi-dimensional person. So it gets confusing because she thinks that she has to pick a lane, but matters is if she stays in that frequency, she'll always be magnetized and delivered to like her next thing. But I think in the next like 5 years, like it'll be so different than what she says things now. And it's important for her to know like her influence like is very different than what she thinks it is. And it's not important, but she just does have some codes of some codes that I don't want to say like awaken people, but like reorient people that like is just is good for them to be around. And it's all through expressions of her own frequency, her high frequency. And so she just really has to honestly, the game is just it's about the nervous system, and it's about having a clear channel, and it's about keeping the body in that frequency.
Oh, okay. Oh, she was curious if this was her first time on Earth. If she got that message. Is that even true?
Like in some ways, yes. In some ways, no.
What do you want to tell her about this?
She has been here before, but because she knows souls here, like she definitely knows souls here, but I don't know if it was ever in like a human form. And she needs to trust the souls that she knows because they're really important to her. Like it's just not by accident. And they're like a big lifeline for her. And she's, for the sake of human talk, it's like, yeah, it's her first life here, but not really.
Mm, okay. That's so interesting. Well, what about she she feels like she's bringing this frequency in the world. We kind of did touch on this. Is there anything else about that you want to tell her?
Well, it's sort of like everybody has a signature frequency, and the blueprint, we need to be in our own blueprint around it. Like the more we can be in our blueprint, it's just so important. And frequency is sort of a word that she's latched onto, but I think I think it was just like a starting point. Like it's a word that we made up in this language, but its meaning is so big and some of the game around, like, I think she's here now, not by accident. And I think she is, that frequency tips things, like tips the overall like frequency. And I think she's had a hard time being human.
Wow. What do you suggest she does since it's hard for her?
She has to really take care of herself, like almost like a newborn, like be very careful and discerning about like being, she really needs to be in like loving environments, and because she feels so tough, and but she's also like a newborn in a way of being here for her first life, if that makes sense. And I don't
Mhm.
think she realizes how sensitive she is, or how how sensitive she is, and that things have impact on her. And it's just important that she's in loving environments.
Mm, okay. Well, how can she get into a loving environment?
Well, she's so aware now of what's aligned and not aligned, and her shifting and continually shifting to what's in alignment, small choices, big choices is like the game. And she really just made a big she cut some things off that were big, and that was really good.
Good. Well, what about a relationship? I mean, we were talking about that. What Do you suggest do you want her to get into a relationship?
She should get into a relationship because it's definitely the next part of her evolution and will be a growth. She'll learn she's, like, played the individual game, and she'll get to play like a more of a partnered game, but it has to be with a obviously a loving person, but also they need to be able to see her. Not everything about her, but they need to be able to see her and the multi dimensions that she has, and they don't have to be exactly alike. They can be um, very different, but it's important that she is seen as who she is.
Is there any
And
and
no,
sorry.
no, she just has to be known too. It's important because not everyone, when you're frequency, you have to play, you make a trade, and the trade is that you won't be fully seen because not everyone can see you, but and that kind of was that was her life, her parents, and like she needs to experience fully being fully seen in her life by a partner.
Wow. Do you have anything you suggest as to like how to meet this partner?
He probably isn't in the States. Maybe maybe he's in Mexico or like it's like a timing thing. It's like I can already kind of see him.
What does he look like?
He's got I think he has brown hair, but he has a similar like he's going through something different but I can like sort of see his timeline and like what was important is like that we meet at a certain point. It feels already kind of like written in a weird way, like,
Mm.
and so it's just like it's already on our timelines or something like that. And we both just have to get to the point where that vibration is like this matches for that timeline or something like that. But he's just like kind of on his own, like, and self journey.
Wow, okay. Well, what about the twin flames that she's experienced? Like, what about Jessica? What do you want to tell her about that?
Well, that she's had a very love-hate relationship with being a twin flame, and she's hasn't allowed it to nourish her in all the ways it could. She's felt more like the teacher or the parent or the like she's given a lot more than she's received, and she gets to receive with this relationship,
No,
and it's important.
that's amazing. Um, do you have any advice for that relationship?
She's doing it. She's so aligned in that timeline, and she's more in her own she's really it's like one of the best relationships because she's in her truth, but she's also not afraid to expand and be uncomfortable with it, and like she understands that contract for what it is, and she's really playing that relationship like exactly how it's supposed to be.
Mm.
But she just gets to receive and be more nourished by it. It's like taking a turn or something.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Mm. Um, all right, what about Lauren?
Lauren Lauren's so wide. Like she might even like be really close by like right now. Like she's really um got like such a wide energy and she's given her Megan a lot of information and Megan has really it's really changed Megan's life, but Megan gets scared of Megan gets scared of it because it's like so it can be overwhelming. And what Lauren does is Lauren opens up Megan's field to like just a lot of information. And sometimes there's like an information overload. And I think the thing with Lauren is to actually lean into her more, but she has to guide like Lauren, she can really trust Lauren, but I think that Megan has put Lauren on a pedestal and like they're actually both like these dragons that are like really fucking similar. Like really similar on like purpose and mission and I don't know what they're doing here, but they're really aligned so much that I think it scares Megan. But like Megan has to like share with Lauren as much as Lauren shares with Megan and they just have to she has to like reorganize that relationship.
Okay. That's really good to know. Okay. Um, let's see, what do you want to tell her about being nomadic right now?
Well, this was like written in the stars, kind of like something to do with astrology. And it's not so much nomadic isn't a this is just the fastest way for her to shift her life and reorganize her life in a massive way. So that's why she was guided to do this. So it's less about, you know, nomadic, not nomadic. This is just really reorganizing her to be in a different timeline and learn about herself and give her so many tools and understandings. And it's like all of the it's like it's just like she's in the labor pains of it.
Wow. Okay. I see. Is there anything else about this you want to tell her?
I'm gonna breathe into it. Just that it's too much on her body the way she's doing it, and it's not that it's just that she's not it what happened was she's just basically overriding the body, but it's obviously like harder, but it's not it's just that she's just forgotten about the body basically and kind of like dragging it along and she needs to switch that. And like she definitely needs to always remember like she's like learn like it's showing her these like mini rituals and mini lessons, and it's also really showing her like this bigger picture. Like she has to sort of stay in the higher self and then the details of it because they both really matter with going through this like
Oh,
journey.
okay. Wow. Okay. It's interesting. Okay. Um, all right. Well, can you do a body scan on her? Can you look deep into her body and tell me how her body actually is?
Yeah, it just feels like her throat has a bit of a block and her organs are like not in full operation.
Why? What's the very root cause of that?
It's it's just that it's just being really tired and I think not having these minerals that she needs and um it's also like when you water a flower it grows like it's just the same symbol. It's like she just hasn't been watering her body in the ways that it needs. And I think she thinks that it's funny because she knows so much, but she has resistance to the time of loving the body because I think she still has um the stuff that happened with her uncle and her grandfather, like she still has trauma and hasn't made peace with some of it. So it's like it's a so she doesn't she's just avoiding her body in ways.
What can she do about this?
Well, she needs to um I think she needs to ask for help because um she has it's a little outside of her and um it can't be done in the mind. And of course she needs to love her body, but she needs to of course like there's all these like there's a big list of things she could do. It's just more of the relationship with the body. There just needs to be like a peace agreement or something.
Oh, can she do that now? Now that she's like seeing this and she's aware?
Yeah, she can do that. Yeah, she can do that.
Great. Can you do that now for her?
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me know when you're done.
She met her body's soul when she did ayahuasca. It was like a really profound experience. And I could tap back in. So my body has a soul. It's not me. It's not Megan. But my
Wow.
body has a soul. And I had met her. And it was so beautiful because she gave herself to me. And I like, this isn't ayahuasca. And she grew she grew, I grew, whoever grew. And then, but when you understand that the body has a soul, it's like such an honor. And so I was just doing my contract with the soul. I found the soul again, and
That's
she she was happy to make peace with Megan, but she asked Megan to not like there's just some things that just hurt the body, whether it's like w- something I would eat or working out too hard or like there's just an overriding. So we had to talk about that. But at the end of the day, it's actually even like deeper than that. It almost feels like the soul is like, I didn't know this before, but I feel like if I ever have a body again, I'll talk to the same soul. It's like almost like a body dealer. And it's like, it's how you get a body is through these souls. And I would have the same soul maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's a
wow.
very like a new evolution.
That's so interesting. Is there anything else about that that looks important or interesting?
Yeah, it's kind of like it almost feels like the contracts, like it feels like so much of life is like these vows and these contracts and like it's like behind these like seals
Hmm.
and you can renegotiate them, but like the more you can be in touch with them and they're all benevolent, but it's like it's sort of like the root of intention, like the more you can tap into these intentions and like it's like kind of where co-creation lives. It's like where manifestation lives. It's like when you really can go underneath and align, but you have to such awareness beyond yourself because obviously you can't think just about yourself. You have to really think about everyone. But when you are in this like contract world, whatever, it's like you have, it's where a lot of these agreements, I guess, live, but it's much more than, and I can see how I didn't realize I have so many agreements, like with so many things. And that's just the way it works. And the more you
Oh,
can be conscious of them, the better.
oh, wow. That's so interesting. Wow. Okay. How does the rest of her body look? Because she was worried about her adrenal glands.
Yeah, they're very low. They need to be, loved up, but it can be fixable.
Can you fix them now?
Oh, let me see. I think I can like help them, but because I don't have access to like time, I can't fully help them, but they're better.
Okay. What do you suggest then going forward for her adrenals?
I don't know why, but minerals are important to her. She needs a lot more minerals.
Okay, and what minerals exactly?
Sodium, potassium, magnesium, manganese. She has to think of it like a battery and but she can get charged other ways. Like maybe when she's in Avalon, she can go to the Avebury stones because those are like giant chargers. And so it's not just, there's a lot of other modalities that have advanced. Also, like the scalar frequency is good, like that she can use to attune herself.
Oh, okay. Um, okay. What will happen if she does these things?
It's just like a battery, she just fills back up to 100%, and then, like, kinda like you can maintain you can maintain your battery charge when your computer's plugged in. It's like she can maintain her body charge when these things are all aligned. Like, there's not as many dips,
Okay.
and she really dipped, like, a big amount this recently.
Wow, okay. Okay. Is there any other healing you could give her body?
Maybe. I learned this thing when I did ayahuasca, how to retool my chakras, and it was, doing spirals on my chakras.
Oh, okay. Is this something you want her to do?
Um, yeah, no, I just did it really fast.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right. Um, okay. Is there any other advice you want to give her on her body? I do have a question. Where can she find these minerals? I mean, is there like a pack of supplements or?
Yeah, they're very available, but she just has to get them in, you know, high quality form, like just a good, just be careful where she gets it from, but that she knows that, I think.
Okay, all right. Are there any brands that you suggest that are better than others?
I don't know about brands, but what just came up for me is water because sh- water is the best thing for her. So she needs to be in water a lot, baths, oceans, swimming, showers. Anything with water is so good for her. She doesn't understand this.
Oh, tell me about that. She was curious about this.
She's the water is like honey to her system, I guess. Like I think water like speeds things up, so it's like it's like the best. And also like the waters, the rhythm of water is what the rhythm of water that's like beyond the eye and the ear is what's so good for the body. And there's so many forms of water for her to like touch, but her skin touching water is really important. And the idea of her floating is really important too.
Oh, okay. That's really good to know. Wow. How often do you want her to do this?
Ideally, she's in a body of water at least twice a week or once a week minimal.
Wow. Okay. What will she notice if she does this?
It's it's kind of like a reset of the it's a
Oh, happened.
Okay, maybe we can breathe and go back there.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, just take in a deep breath. And as you exhale, allow yourself to double this deep relaxation. Just sinking back into that state, breathing in deeply and fully, releasing any blocks, any worries, any tensions flow right back into that place, connecting deeply with a part of you that knows everything. Can I speak directly with Megan's higher self?
Yes.
Okay, is there anything else that you would like to clarify about what we were just talking about before? Um,
No, I think we got the body and the battery thing and the computer thing and the just basically like the body really matters and but we covered it. I
okay.
think. Like, well, let me just ask him a question.
Okay, great. She's really curious why she came into this life with her DNA being mostly Irish. What should she understand about this?
I think that she picked that lineage for a reason because that DNA has like a code. I don't know how to say it for lack of better word that was important for her. But like I think she was telling you about like Avalon and the distortion around it. Like it's just so wild because throughout this whole thing I just see so much distortion. It's
Mhm.
kind of confusing and it's like there's a pureness in that DNA strand that like is she like understands that pureness or that light and so but there's just like can see the DNA strand and it like it distorts itself as it goes and evolves and out and it's like but at the very pure thing of it I know this
Mm.
so I think that the Celtic people they had a way of preserving that but it's and it could be accessed and she can access it but it's through so it's sort of through her DNA but through it's almost like they saved these important files like on a different disk and so she just has to go find the disk.
How could she do that?
It's there's like a formula like an algorithm that's like through the body but through the especially like the land will give her a lot of access like the actual like Celtic land and because it's like a dude everything is just like frequency it's like a resonance that like activates stuff through her body and there's information there for her and it's sort of like I think a lineage like if I ever like related to humans it's like these Celtic and I relate more to the feminine versus the masculine like these Celtic women kind of goddessy like that feminine form is it is a lineage of mine I think
Mm.
and then there's
Okay.
like these these worlds that are like the fairies and the gnomes the dragons like well this is a different kind of dragon but like there's such potency in those worlds that are like not that are misunderstood and there's just I think that there's just an access point to it all.
I see. Okay. What do you want to tell her about what happened recently with someone in the spiritual community choosing like just to um, have more uh, a polygamous a relationship. What is that teaching her? What do you want to say about that?
Well, it's just basically like it's basically like a really beautiful thing because it's more of like a mirror of like all these things that are happening now that feel a little bit exaggerated and like political parties like it feels so harsh on the body because of the polarity of it and like it's just all to show us what is true and what is truth and you know it just gets really tricky for humans when we judge or we other or we better than ourselves and it's just not how it's supposed to be digested in the body and it's I think that the way that evolution works it's just we can see it more now we feel it more now but this has like always been happening and it just isn't so hidden and so we're all kind of grappling with being more aware of those things and then having strong opinions about them because of how our bodies feel around it but
Mm.
it's all it's all beautiful and it's all for just this us to return to like what is true and to sort of find ourselves but I think the thing that is interesting is that it's it's just easy to for her to sit and like not feel a part of it but like it is important to understand like the ways in which the self is also creating this creating everything too.
Mm. I see. Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell her about being a water keeper? As you told her, she should be in water and that it's very important to her, but what about being a water keeper?
I mean it's not I think we can all be water keepers it's just like when you she kind of really did get a download of whatever of information that is really important and for her to like not because it's so beyond the mind so it's so important for her to like actually bring that into the 3D and like the word guardian comes up like be a guardian for the waters in the ways that she's able to and capable of and like it's really it's was like a really real transmission.
Amazing. What about what happened to her? Why did she die in Aruba? Like why? Why did that happen?
I mean it's something to do with Ellen and it's something to do with like this lady she saw for this energy healing like she's she she like it was all pre-planned and I don't really have a reason for it or I can't well maybe I can't tap into it I think I'm overthinking it's like the water Ellen she needed to be alone it was just like a really like that thing about that dimension and like Aruba that land I don't know it's sort of like it's just a good easy place to die or something.
Interesting. Is there anything else about this you want her to know?
Well, I think the thing she was sad about was because she couldn't visit
Mhm.
her because she was in Aruba, but she has to remember she's really of the ocean, of the water. Like that was like
Oh,
that whole moment that happened.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Um, good to know. All right. Um, let's see. She's curious if she has buried memories within herself, and if so, what are they?
Um, yeah, I think that like that first what's coming to me is that first place we talked about when I laid down like this the octopus and the stars.
Yeah.
That's that's a that's that w- like that's all that's a memory. I was accessing a memory and that was like that's like inside of me. Like I don't know why how to say it exactly, but the way we the way that we the way that memories are stored are in black holes inside of the body. Like it's not really in the body, but it's a way to access them. And I think that it's through like the spirals, and there are like just the body is just like the theme of this is just so incredible. And I think her childhood has memories stored in here. That would be good for her to look at and see if she can pull up. And um, it's important to like not have extra baggage, like if you have too many memories in the body, it gets that's how you can get sick or something.
Oh, wow. So what do you suggest she does about this?
Well, I think what she's doing with she's like just kind of started unpacking like another level of her trauma, and I think she it's heavy, but it's a really good thing to do. Like that's a just that is the way.
Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. So interesting. Okay. What about the family trauma that she feels like she carries? What does she need to do exactly with all this family trauma?
I think she's done enough, and she has to realize what's not hers, and that's a hard thing for her to understand because she's so good at kind of blending with everything, and so she doesn't always have boundaries, for the lack of a better word, of what's hers and what's not hers. And she needs to there's nothing to do. It's she actually needs to sort herself out from she's done a lot. Like it's
Mm.
to separate that out. She's done enough.
Okay. Um, how does she separate it out exactly?
She has to get there's an invitation to get clear on her energetic boundaries, where she ends, where someone else begins. The more she can stabilize her own field of her own being, energy, self, the more that she will feel safe, and the more that she will be able to separate out like chaos in the field or like someone else's energy. And this is this will be a really this is like her next big thing for her to learn.
Oh, okay. Wow. Do you have any advice about this?
Yeah. um it's like a three-part job. It's like the more she can start to identify, like it's very basic. It's like when you start to know what is not yours, like are separate, and then you have to know it, but you have to like integrate it in the body and the mind. So her she'll see her mom tomorrow. She hasn't seen her in a while, and the path is like being being clear in a very simple way about where she like sort of where her field is, where she ends, where another person begins, and staying in that within that. This will be very transformational for her, I think, because she when she DJs, she blends with everybody. She becomes the crowd. She's good at that, but there's a distinction that she's learning, a boundary that she's learning, I guess.
Is there anything else about that you want to say?
Yeah, just that there's this isn't like this is actually something that a lot of people have like it would be good if a lot of people learned this, not just her. It would be good for humanity.
Can you tell me more about it then?
Yeah, just because we don't have much healthy guidance on relationships, we live in a very traumatized sort of codependent like our relationships are almost juvenile in the way they're functioning and the way we operate with people we know or strangers. And there's such a um, more evolved way of being in relationship that actually has more intimacy but more boundaries, and it's where we're actually where we're headed.
Oh, wow. Is there anything else about that that's important to know?
No, it's just good to know that you don't have to have um, embarrassment that you don't know it or something, just or that she doesn't know it, because it's not where there's just not a lot of good models of healthy, what really really healthy relationships are.
Mm, wow. Okay. Um, who are you? Like, who is her team? Can you tell me about yourself?
um I can't tell if I feel like I'm a collective voice,
Okay.
and I'm not the team isn't the team is like different expressions of, so it's like the team is no one's the same on the team.
I see. Okay, collective. What do you want to tell her about this collective?
Well, just that, not to think of it like she's the center of the collective. So it's not like it's like an outside. It is a group, but it's orienting around her, if that makes sense. Like it's
Mm.
she has, it's not like these separate beings. It's like all part of her. So it's not it's a collective of voices. I don't know if it's all these different lives. I don't know if it's, I think on the outside it's different beings, but there is a core, her core collective is feels very much her, in just different expressions and very bright.
Okay. Do they have any messages for her?
Um, well, I kind of edited that, but they said it's so weird. I just like interfered with my own self.
It's okay.
Um, they said they said that she has access to this, and they said they know ISIS, and that was about it.
Wow. What do they want to say about ISIS?
Just that ISIS is connected, I guess. ISIS is there's something weird. It's something weird happening. It's like, it's not that I can. It's like ISIS is over here, they're over here, and there's just a connection, and that I don't really. I guess I could go like into it, but it's like
Just if anything's important.
there is something important, but it's like all I need to know is that I guess ISIS is like way closer to me than I had realized.
Hmm.
I don't think Megan doesn't know ISIS that well, so it's interesting.
Wow. What do you want to tell her about ISIS?
It sort of goes back to like that when I was talking in the beginning about this love in this high place. Like she's a good example of an, an embodied, not even embodied, but a frequency that made it to this earth plane that like is closer to what that love. It's sort of like it's sort of like she's such medicine for love, and it's just not in the way that we think it is. And that so I guess like I think I can like I think I could just really tap into that medicine more, I guess.
Oh, I love it. That is so interesting. I love that. Um, what do you want her to do with this medicine? And like if she taps in.
It's like an alchemy. Like it's like if I feel the polarity of a feeling or of love, it working with her like leads you back. Like no matter what way you approach it, it like really kind of leads you back to understand more of that source code of like pure love. Like Jesus is one too, but like he's more the embodiment in human form of it. But like this is more in a different realm, I guess. But it's if I can start to, I guess, kind of know that frequency of her, like it'll be a big expansion for me.
Oh, I love it. Um, let's see. Did I ask all the questions that you want to tell her about? That I just have the one last question about Osho. Like, what do you want to tell her about the Osho and the guru and in
That
that?
I think that that was a very there was a very important reason why she went, and it was a but it's also like an example of like it's a good example of I think that she's been trying to she's still thinking of the world in good and bad, and it's things aren't that way, and the more she can get out of this sort of polarity, right and wrong, good and bad, like the more the world become available for her, because it's such a narrow way of looking at things, and that's, if she thought of that story, she would understand that or something.
Oh, wow, it's beautiful. Do you have any final messages for her?
What's coming to me is just the importance of like water, like drinking water or swimming in water, water keeping, these portals in water. Like there's just a big invitation for her around the alchemy and the element of water.
Hey, wow, thanks. Um, Anything else you want to tell her?
Um, Nothing's particularly coming forward.
Oh, great. Are we complete then?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now I'd like